most influential sports talk show in the nation.
What is today, the 19th?
Stay tuned for updates and great sports content.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sports Scope. I'm your host, Robert Butler, on this 27th day of June. Got a great show in line for you all tonight. Tony Cox and his son Jacoby is going to be returning back to the program. Tony and his son came on 2 years ago, April of 2021. Jacoby was 13 years old, going into finishing up his middle school, junior high school. Now he's 15. I want to say he's a junior, getting a lot of looks, a lot of college looks here. He's 6'5" now, and he is a pretty highly talented prospect. If not, he should be at that height and the kind of skills that he has shown just from what I could see. Okay. So we'll have them two, father and son, coming back on the program at 30 minutes past the hour. Going to talk about Derek Carr. Man, has he got some motivation. He did an interview today and got quoted. Got an interesting quote from him and Shohei Ohtani. How big is this offer going to be if this season holds up? Is he the greatest the Angels pitcher hitter? Is he the greatest? Is he going to be the most sought after free agent ever? I'll get to that. And on a sad note, Ron Mallett, folks. Ron Mallett passed away. He was swimming, but I'll get to that in Destin, Florida. I used to live out there. I'll get to that here in just a little bit. But we'll go ahead and get our first break out of the way, and we'll hit the ground running here on Sports Scope. Hello, Sports Scope followers. The program has seen tremendous growth since going 5 days a week. I just wanted to thank everybody for your cash contributions and sharing the program with friends and families. Just a reminder, if you want to contribute to the program, go to the Cash App, the cash sign, and Sports Scope. There are other ways to contribute to the program listed at the bottom of the screen. If you want to advertise on the program, go to Sports, that is Sports with an S, another S, Scope, SKOPE, at gmail.com, just like it's listed at the bottom of the screen. Thank you and enjoy the program. Then, listen, folks, this broke late this afternoon, and I wanted to talk about this, get it over with. Ron Mallett, he was a former New England Patriot quarterback, kind of bounced around the league. He was I saw Ron Mallett as a star, Pickles, at one time when he was playing under Bobby Petrino, when he coached for the Arkansas Razorbacks. 6'7", really big quarterback. Didn't quite pan out the way a lot of us thought he would as an NFL player. Backed up Brady for a number of years. Bounced around the league, played for the Ravens also. But he drowned today. I read Ron Mallett, the former NFL quarterback, Arkansas Razorback quarterback, drowned today, Pickles, in Destin, Florida, swimming in the Gulf of Mexico. And, I talked about this last week. Don't want to be preachy or on some kind of high horse or anything, but we just talked about last week when the submarine went down and how stuff imploded. And that the biggest story in the country. How things look fun on TV. For example, Lieutenant Dan, when he jumped in the water, when Forrest Gump said he was making peace with God after he had, lost his legs and in Vietnam, and he jumps in the ocean and swims without a vest on or anything. It looks fun on TV. But truth for the matter is, and I mentioned this before, I almost drowned out in Destin, swimming out there without a life jacket on it. I didn't think it was that deep. It was like in the harbor area, and a riptide got me, Pickles. A riptide got me, and my friend's mom threw the after she realized I wasn't playing around. She threw me the life jacket and pulled me back in. This was around Memorial Day weekend, 1996, I want to say. About to turn 15. I thought I was 10 foot tall and bulletproof, but yeah, that's apparently what happened today. It's a really bad tragedy, and it just goes to show you, you got to be careful out there in this ocean. I've talked about Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter. He was stung in the ocean by one of those manta rays, and he died that way. So, thoughts and prayers with this guy's family, man. But it's just a lesson learned that getting out in that ocean, I would recommend doing it. I know certain people are just more braver than I am. But if you are, for God's sake, please get a life jacket and don't get too far away from the coastline. It's a great big old ocean out there, folks. A little public service announcement there. Ron Mallett's still pretty young. He was 35. I thought he was older than that. So, anyways, switching gears here. Pickle says 4 people has drowned along the Gulf Coast in the past 5 days. I don't know if it's the riptides. I don't know if it's people just living dangerously or all of the above. But either way, it's dangerous out there. And, there's more ocean than there is land. Keep that in mind. Okay, switching gears. Going to baseball. Shohei Ohtani, pitcher hitter, phenom. He's finished second MVP voting last year. Hit his 26th home run last night. They won 2-1. Angels beat the White Sox. He'll pitch tonight, by the way. And let me see. This ESPN stats and information put this out on Ohtani, Pickles. And, I couldn't believe this. Shohei Ohtani is the 6th player in AL/NL history to have 90 hits, 25 home runs, and 10 stolen bases through the month of June. Of the previous 5 players, 3 went on to win the season MVP. He leads, Ohtani leads the major leagues, Pickles, in home runs and RBIs. He is 10th. Ohtani is. He is 10th in AL in ERA, 3.13. He is got a winning record, 6-3. This team is 6 games above 500. They're five games out of first place. They're a half game out of the wild card. And I was reading, I think it was a fan-sided article here, said that they will be buyers at the trade deadline. Unlike last year and years past, these guys will be buyers. They moved 3 pitching prospects to acquire Eduardo Escobar and Mike Moustakas in the separate trades in the last 4 days alone, and will not be done. I'll say this. I kind of laughed when I read a headline that said, because you know how you hear the term clickbait, Pickles, and LA Times said this guy could be the first $600 million man. And this was this was back in April. Pickle says they need middle relief. Said he could be the first $600 million man. He is in a contract year this year. Ohtani is. And Spot Track, which is a site I go to that handles that's all they do is concentrate on professional. Spot Track concentrates on professional contracts, and I'm trying to see where that screenshot is. It's really interesting. Okay, Spot Track says this was back in April 6th. Okay, keep this in mind. Says evaluation of his next contract. Spotrac says 8 years, $230 million as a pitcher, and $10,333 million as a hitter, which would combine for $563 million contract, perhaps. And to give a little context, Mike Trout's 12-year contract is $426.5 million extension, is the biggest in Major League history. That 563, the LA Times said maybe 600. This was back in April, folks. If these numbers hold up, what I just said, he leads the major leagues in home runs and RBIs. He's 10th in the NL, in the AL, and ERA. If that holds up, and like this ESPN thing says, he gets the MVP, I don't see why he couldn't get the biggest contract in professional sports history. You know, and Pickle says he may be worth it, and I don't have any evidence to say otherwise. I just read you those stats. Now, we know how big you had to be living under a rock, even if you're not a baseball fan, that Japan is huge for baseball. Japan has cheerleaders at their baseball games. It's huge in Japan. Now, and then I look at a Mets team on the flip side. They are 8 games under 500. Got Verlander. They got these older players. Verlander's 40, my age, or maybe a year or two younger. I'm 41. And I'm thinking with Steve Cohen being that, Steve Cohen's worth $15.9 million, the richest owner in Major League. Next week, happy birthday, Ohtani. Now, I know he won't understand. He don't speak a lick of English, but that's okay. I ain't mad at it. He's great for the game. I said this last week about the globalization of professional sports. We talked about the Joker and the run he went on in the major in the NBA. And Ohtani will be, happy birthday, Ohtani. He'll be 29. He will be 29, and on July the 5th, which was what is that? A week from today? Is today Wednesday? No, week from tomorrow. He'll be 29 years old, and he signed a $30 million arbitration deal this year. Talk about a guy that's getting underpaid. $30 million arbitration this year. So if you're Steve Cohen and you've got all these guys that are pretty much past their prime, do you make the big splash and outbid an Angels team or Dodger team? Because they're going to try to keep him in LA. By the way, Japanese population huge in that. When I've flown to LA, I mean, I used to live in New York. I've been to Chinatown, everything. Japanese, pretty big. Yankees have had some Japanese players before. Godzilla, the guy's nickname was Godzilla. I can't remember his name. Pickles, remember him? I think he was on one of their World Series teams some years ago, 7, 8, 10 years ago. But the Yankees and the Mets. But if I'm Steve Cohen, 15.9 beaten, go ahead and make the splash. If you're going to offer this guy the 620, 660, you're worth $15.9 billion. That's a bad year in business for him. Yeah. Ichiro Suzuki, I think he led the league in hits one year, Pickles. The phenomenon that used to play for the Seattle Mariners. Thank you, Ichiro. How can I forget about Ichiro? There was a guy for the Yankees, too. I can't remember his name. A Yankee fan will send that to me later. Carlos will let me know. But, I'm just saying, if I'm the Mets, contact his agent, man. Take that splash hit. I understand that there's luxury taxes, But if you want to make a splash, stop going after these guys. 35, 40, go after a guy, 29. You wish, yep, Matsui. That's it. That's it, Corey. Matsui and Nitra. Those are the two big. And, of course, Hideo Nomo pitched for the Dodgers, 95. But nobody, none of those guys are like this guy. This guy could arguably be the greatest baseball player of all time. He's 29 now. I thought he was a little younger than that. I thought he could arguably be. Now, of course, he's got to withstand this. He's got to do this for 8 to 10 more years. That's a big if. He's pitching tonight. You know, he had a home run last night, but it's a great story, man. I mean, who would have thought this guy? Now, I thought he was going to be good. I know how the media overhypes things. I know how there's a lot of clickbait on these websites, but the guy's leading the league in home runs and RBIs, and he's 10th in ERA. He's pretty freaking consistent, man. He was a runner-up last year. If he don't get hurt, he'll probably win the MVP this year. Very good chance. And Pickle says they need middle relief. Don't everybody needs middle relief? You know, ain't that the truth? That, you know, that's what won Houston the World Series last year, you know. But yeah, this guy is 26 leads a major league in home run, and he plays with Mike Trout, you know. But the good news for Angel fans, hey, listen, you know, you're in it, you're half game out. You're going to be players come that trade deadline. Now I think the trade deadline is in August now. It used to be July 31st. It used to be it's August 1st. Okay, I was off by one day. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen. He's in a contract year. It's the most interesting contract year player just about ever. Now, that being said, of course, last year we had Judge, who hit 60-plus home runs in a contract year, but he's not sitting out there having a 3.13 ERA and 10th best in the AL. So this is pretty phenomenal type of deal there. But yeah, 660. That's my number. Even if it's just by a few $1 million, you know, if you're in New York, I know our taxes are high. I know California is probably the highest in the country. I will get down and crunch those numbers. I'm Steve Cohen. I'm worth $15.9 billion. This team is underperforming this year. You got Pete Alonso on that team. Go ahead and make that big move. Just food for thought if you're Mets fans. You know, I'm out of Nashville. Kind of like to see the Braves get it, but the Braves don't need him. Hey, Braves are favored to win the World Series. But so that's food for thought. Kudos to Shohei Ohtani. He is unconscious right now, the Japanese sensational player out of L.A. Okay, switching gears here, and I might not stay too long on this story because anytime Tony and his son Jacoby could pop up on the screen. So Derek Carr did an interview, I want to say, with the Sacramento Bee. What a good guy. You know, he's but I got this off of the New York Post, the former Raider quarterback. You know, the guy's a man of faith and everything, but he said, man, it really ticked me off getting benched like this. He says, I was, for lack of a better term, very upset. I was mad. This is from the, I'm taking this quote from the Post, New York Post, but it was originally told to the Sacramento Bee. He said, you spend 9 years in a place, you have all the records, you can play at a high level for something to get in the way, whether it was reason, money related, injury related. I would have said, I don't even want the money, just to play 2 more times in front of our fans. I didn't get that opportunity, so definitely it lit a fire inside of me to keep going. The second round pick, he says, somebody asked him, they said, well, would you consider coming back? And he said, well, they made my wife cry when that happened. And I've never seen my wife upset like that. Now, of course, there's a lot more serious things in the world than that. But he says, I'll never come back there. I've been reading that he's killing it in camp right now. New line of focus here. Chris Alve says he's a true professional. They got Michael Thomas back. They are favored. I'll tell you what, Thursday, I'll probably have an opening Thursday. By the way, Wednesday, before I get it out, Jeffrey Descovich will be on the program. We're going to talk some NBA. I'm keeping an eye on that Damian Lillard situation. We'll talk about Chris Paul, Bradley Beal, Descovich. You guys know he loves him some NBA, and I like listening to him talk. He's a very knowledgeable guy of the NBA. He'll be on tomorrow. Thursday, I'm going to break this whole NFC South down. Before, like I said, I've already picked the Saints to win it. And according to FanDuel, the Saints are favored to win this at plus 135 over the Falcons, and then followed by the Panthers, and the Bucks are plus 700. They're picked, according to FanDuel, odds-wise, they're picked to finish dead last in that division. You know, and I say the same thing. You want a guy that's re-energized. I know these guys get paid a lot of money. We want to use the cliches. Hey, they're professionals. Show up to work every day. But I'll tell you what, Tom Brady, when he was essentially pushed out, he says he wouldn't, but he there's a sense that he wasn't appreciated much. Things kind of went south between him and Bill Belichick, especially when they drafted Jimmy Garoppolo. You could tell he was really motivated going against COVID restrictions in the 2020 season in Tampa, sneaking out, getting in trouble, sneaking in high schools, throwing football. He was really motivated. We saw what happened there. They won the Super Bowl. I think Derek Carr is going to be money this year. Dennis Allen, John Gruden's down there helping out with Dennis Allen and the offense there. They've got Mike Thomas back, Chris Olave, decent defense to good defense. Depends on if they can stay healthy. Going to be an interesting storyline to follow. Again, the Atlanta Falcons getting a lot of hype too in their win-losses. They got some star power with their skill position players. So I'll probably break that division down, the NFC South, on Thursday, give you a prediction. Now, again, like I said last week, that I will these are just as of now. I will give you my final breakdown the week of Labor Day. The Labor Day is on a Monday. By that Thursday or Friday, you'll have my final predictions for the season in the NFL. Okay? And here in just a few minutes, I will have Tony Cox and Jacoby. His son will be in. Jacoby is, remember I said he came on a couple of years ago, if y'all don't remember. He's 13 going into high school. I want to say he's going to be a junior this year. He's going, I don't know if these are visits or what, but he is getting, by the way, Ron Acuna Pickles just hit a home run in the first inning, and then he hit another home run in the second inning. I'm just looking at back on my Twitter. But Jacoby Cox is being recruited by a lot of big schools. I think those are visits. But he's got a list here with a lot of Ivy League schools, Harvard, Columbia, Ivy League of the South, Vanderbilt, here listed on his Twitter page. So I want to know if these are visits or these are Yale, by the way. So that's something I want to get into when these guys pop up on the screen here in just a few minutes here. Yeah. Pickles says Braves has had 3 in the first inning. Ron Acuna's having a great year too, man. Coming back from that injury. They're playing some good baseball, man. Like the Boys of Summer. The song by Don Henley made me want to fire that up here. That used to be a preview song for, I think it was either Fox or ESPN that would do that. Play the Boys of Summer before a big game in the major leagues come on. I know they used to play ESPN would play Running Down a Dream by Tom Petty when they would advertise Sunday Night Baseball back in the day, man. But anyways, Jacoby is this website here. It's called TennesseePrep.com. Now, it's a subscription site. It's a subscription site, and but it's saying he's one of the top Prep Red Zone at Prep Red Zone Tennessee. Tennessee 2025 rankings breakdown by quarterbacks. Ed Jacoby 6'5", 205. That is NFL. That is a NFL prototypical quarterback. I mean, Tony's really got to be excited for Jacoby right now. Don Henley. Yeah, that's it, Pickles. Yeah, so that's the song they used to play of intro into. I love those ESPN Sunday night baseball, Wednesday night baseball. That reminds me in the 90s. Looking forward to it. I like the two guys here, and I can't remember their name. One of them used to play for the Reds, Pickles, and the other guy's name was John something. I think it was John Robertson, I think, that used to he would call the Giants, the San Francisco Giants games. But those were the great days. That was when I was really into baseball as a kid growing up, man. And I've talked about it with Corey, too, before, about those games. Joe Morgan. Yeah, that was Wednesday, man. A Wednesday after playing basketball all day. I took my shower. It's getting late. They've got Frank. Being in Nashville, I always wanted. We got a lot of the National League games, but we didn't get a lot of the American League games. And when I would get hyped up when Frank Thomas would be on, and you'll get to see maybe the Mariners, and you'll see a Ken Griffey Jr. in 1993. One of those two, the big hurt there, playing. And then you'll have Joe Morgan, and I think the other guy, John Robertson. Is that his name? Pickle said he saw him in Atlanta. Love listening to those guys. Really hated that they took them off. I could listen to those guys for hours, break down one of those games. And again, a lot of the West Coast games, you would see Bonds in his heyday he was with the Giants there in the mid 90s. A lot of games, they would be on in the middle of the night here. I'm in Nashville. So these games wouldn't come on to like 9 something, but it'd be summer. I didn't have to go to school the next day, and I would just sit up and watch the game. And it would be, never really a dead moment between those two guys. And then sometimes, if I'm still kind of amped up, I'd watch baseball the night afterwards. But anyways, so I'm waiting for Jacoby and Tony to pop up here. And I said bring it in at about 7:30. So we still got a couple more. John Miller, that's it. Not Robertson. John Robertson was John Miller and Joe Morgan. Those were my two favorite baseball people. Now, of course, I know that, the Dodgers had a legendary play-by-play guy. I know that you had Harry Carey with the Cubs. But for national people, if I want to listen, and I know Joe Buck's really good. Joe Buck was really good with Fox. But if you just want to listen to national, John Miller and Joe Morgan, nobody tried to outdo another person. There was always the same tone, and you could tell the chemistry was just very easy with those two. As far as Miller, he said, listen. I could tell you if it's a strike or not just by not looking into the little. Sometimes they would show that box. They would be on and off with that. I think they're always doing that now, where if the ball's in the strike zone or not. But Morgan was like, "Well, can you tell if it's a strike or not?" He's like, "Do you want me to call it a strike before he calls it a strike? Because I can tell." And then one day, he did. He's like, "Okay, that's a strike on the outside." And of course, the umpire said so. A very humble guy, but when he wants to be, hey, look, he knows his stuff, John Miller. And I still think Miller still calls those Giants games, and we're talking 1993, 30 years ago now. He may have just recently retired. I don't think John Miller's passed away or not. I don't know why that ESPN wants to move some of these guys on. I think they still had plenty left in the tank, those two. But I don't get it. Yeah. And Pickles says Morgan play. I think he played. Did he play for the Reds, Pickles? Did he play for the Big Red Machine with Johnny Bench and those guys? Or did he play for St. Louis? Of course, that's before my time. I know the guy as an announcer, Joe Morgan. And there's the guys. Look at them. Pinpoint. Just on time. Right on money there. 7:30 here. Let me go ahead and bring these guys up here. Jacoby here. And, of course, Tony. I got those guys backstage. All right.
How you doing, man?
Hey, guys. Welcome back to the program. Looking good.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having us.
Hey, man. Listen, Tony. So I've got your message saved from 2 years ago, man, telling about Jacoby. This is
yes.
The last we talked was in April of 21. All right. And,
okay.
Jacoby, your dad's been telling me about you since 2019. And I brought you guys, you can probably remember, a couple years ago. And I accidentally deleted but I still got a lot of memory here. But I saved this. I said, so tell me, how tall is your son? You said he's 13. He's 6'3". He throws the ball 60 yards. He runs a 4.8 40. And you said he threw for 1,224 passing yards. 256 rushing yards in 8 games. He led his middle school, the Kenwood Knights, to undefeated season, and they call him Sniper. Now, is that still your nickname, Jacoby?
Yeah, I still go by it.
The Sniper lives. I was just watching the American Sniper the other day. It made me think about that. That just kind of made me chuckle there. So, Jacoby, I was thank you for following me back, man, on Twitter here. And I've been looking at now. You went to Vanderbilt last week. Was this for a recruitment trip, or was this camp? Tell me about that, man.
It was like a camp. So like it was like you go there and get seen by different colleges and stuff. So like they do your 40. And I actually got faster since the last time me and you talked. I ran a 4.6 at Vanderbilt. And they have us competing against each other like one-on-ones. Then they'll have us doing in some like quarterback drills and stuff like that.
Yeah. Trying to stay on, just trying to get on everybody's radar,
Yeah. Now you are what, 15 now?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, will you be going into a junior next year, Jacoby?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you guys just speak a little bit, Jacoby? Just speak a little bit more into the mic. So you're going to be coming into your junior season. Now, this is a Clarksville High. Okay. Okay.
No. Oh yeah, Kenwood.
Kenwood. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's in Clarksville, but yeah, it's Kenwood High School, and yes, he's going into his junior year.
Wow, yeah. Man.
Now, I noticed you have this list of all these what Ivy League schools. Are you going to all those camps, man?
Yeah, all those camps on there. I pretty much went to all those camps, but I'm just trying to get on everybody's radar, like I said. So any other camp or like state or any camp I ain't went to, that's like where I want to go to get on everybody's radar.
Yeah, just to be on their radar. So Tony, you're going to be taking him to Harvard and Yale this summer?
Well, we're going to attend as many as we can, just technically right now they can only say so much to him, come, I think September is when they can actually talk to you. The Division I NCAA, and they have rules to where they now every now and then, you might hear about them, making offers and things, but usually it's an unofficial offer until your junior year. So, once you become that the first week of September of your junior year, then they can talk to you. So, but until then, we're trying to just, get him noticed and get him on everybody's radar and see what happens from there.
Yeah. Now, Jacoby, I've seen you with some basketball. Do you still play basketball?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, man. Two-sport athlete.
I do 3. I do track at high school now.
Oh, you do track too?
Yeah.
He's actually going for the high jump record at his school. So he's got a couple years yet to try to beat that. So that's another one of his goals. So we'll see what happens.
Man, so are you taking AP classes, Jacoby?
I got one AP class. It's I think it's algebra. That's like my only class, but it's a really hard class. But
yeah, hey man, listen, this is between us 3 in the audience. I took AP English for 1 day. 1 day.
That was enough, huh?
Hey, brother. I was like, man, this is too much. They gave me this whole list of homework like the first day. You're doing projects and everything. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Oh man, but you got to do it. I mean, without the academics, you can't get anywhere. So
yeah, yeah, man, this is awesome, man. So so you're going to continue to play basketball. Now you're 6'5". You could hit another growing spurt. If you get to be 6'8", would you consider putting your focus into basketball, perhaps?
Really? Yeah. But I want to go to college. I want to go to a college for whatever sport, like a college comes to me for. Let's say a college comes to me for basketball and they give me a basketball offer. I want to see if I can go there and try to make the football team too. So, because I want to keep doing both sports until it comes down.
What are your averages in basketball?
How many points?
Yeah. What's your stats on basketball?
Basketball, I average 14 points. And I get like 10 rebounds. I get like a triple-double almost every game. Or a double-double, yeah.
So what do you play, power forward, center?
Small forward.
Small forward, wow. Do you have anybody? Go ahead, Tony.
He's tall, but he does a lot of ball handling. I think if you would have asked him, a couple of years ago which sport he liked the best, he probably would have leaned a little bit more toward football. But I think it's slowly changing. It's about equal now. He's really doing well in basketball and spending a lot of time and doing a lot of extra work in basketball also. Yeah. So, I guess ever who, we'll fill out the opportunities and talk it over and see which opportunity is the best if God willing and see what happens, when the time comes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, man, you got to be really proud going to those. Do you have to be invited to these things?
Some of them I get invited to, and some of them you can pay for to go to. Some of them ain't. Some of them I think I got invited to 1 or 2 of them, and then the rest, pretty much is paid for.
Yeah, man, that is really cool. I think about guys that made the NFL that played for Marcellus Wiley. Ryan Fitzpatrick went to Harvard. Now, people say, well, he's a journeyman quarterback. Yeah, but he played, 15 years or something, didn't he?
Yeah. He had a long career. Yeah.
Did you tell me, Jacoby, your favorite quarterback to emulate was Dan Marino last time we talked?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you have anybody, has your mind changed on game you want to model your game after since the last time we chatted?
No, but currently in the league right now is my favorite player like Mahomes or Lamar Jackson.
Stay with Mahomes, man. He's got them rings, baby, and he might get another one.
Yeah.
You favor Mahomes a little bit. You're bigger than he is already.
Yeah.
He's been in the weight room putting in work. He's packed on about 10 pounds of muscle so far. I think he wants to his coaches want him to pack on another 5 or so, just so he can, build up, get a little bit stronger, but he needs to maintain his speed too, obviously. He's a very elusive quarterback to be his size.
Pickle says, have you thought about the Manning count, guys?
The Manning camp.
Yeah, you know the camp.
Oh yeah. I'm going to try to go there.
Hey man, you still got time. You're just going into your junior year, you know, and being 6'5". You know, Charlie Ward, Tony, if you remember, he won the Heisman.
Florida State. Yeah.
Florida State won that, and you know what he did? He went to play for the Knicks for like 10 years. So it's not unheard of to play high level
the
football.
tight end, the one they used to say you look like Antonio Gonzalez. Antonio Gonzalez. He played basketball and football in college also.
Do you play other positions, Jacoby?
Yeah, for football.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now they have me playing safety on defense, and then I don't know if we can find another backup quarterback or somebody else that can throw me the ball, but I can play some receiver too.
Oh man, you are killing it, dude.
He's got really good hands. And I tell you, his little brother is putting in work too. His little brother's got some incredible hands.
How old is his little brother?
12. His name is Braylon. I'll be posting his stuff, coming up. He had 6 catches in his last game. So he's he's real tough. Real tough to be his size and everything. He's got a little feisty mean streak in him,
What do you think his brother's going to play? What position?
In football, receiver. Yeah, receiver. Okay. Wide receiver, and in basketball, he plays guard and forward, and so.
Oh wow!
But in football, he's definitely a receiver. He loves to catch, and he plays defense too. He can hit really hard. He'll shock you when you look at him. I think he kind of throws his coaches off at first because they look at him and they think this kid, Then they put him in the game and he pops somebody and knocks the ball way up in the air and recovers it and takes it in. Is like, then they're like, whoa, wait a minute,
Oh, he likes the really contact.
Yeah. He's really physical. It's funny to watch him play.
Man, who's going to be the bigger star? They just who's going to be better football player? You gonna be better?
I don't know. I think I want to see them both do well at whatever they choose to do, and give 100%. Like I teach both my boys, if you're gonna do it, then give 100%, and that's all I.
Ed Reed, Pickle says Ed Reed skills sounds like your other son.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just teasing you about that earlier. You remember Mr. Williams? The Williams sisters' dad. Somebody asked him point blank, said, "Who's going to be better?" And Mr. Williams is like, "I think it's going to be Serena." And this is when Venus has she had won multiple tournaments. She was a big star. Serena was a shorter player. And he's like, "I think Serena's going to be better." And we all thought they were just, he was just kind of being nice and stuff. But it's hard to tell about your sons. I mean, you want them both to be big time, right?
Right. Yeah. I like I said, I just if you're gonna do it, give 100%, and then just let the chips fall wherever they may, So.
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, Jacoby. So if you had last time I talked to you, if I'm not mistaken, you said you wanted to play for Ole Miss. Is that still your choice of college, or do you have anything else in mind?
Whoever comes with a better offer or best opportunity for me to play college football, then I'll choose whoever comes with the best offer. But Ole Miss is still a top school for receivers, and they're going to need a quarterback, so they still on my radar for going there too.
Okay, now I'm here in Nashville. Tennessee's really taken off here in the last year or so. Josh Heupel's a former quarterback. Would you consider Tennessee?
Tennessee State?
No,
Tennessee. Knoxville.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I mean, you'll score 100 points a game, man.
Yeah. I tell you like the coaches at Middle Tennessee State, didn't you? You really like
so you said you like Stocksville at Middle Tennessee? Well, I mean, Kevin Byard went to Middle Tennessee, you know.
He's a really cool guy.
Go ahead. Speak up a little bit, guys. You're fading a little bit.
Then Austin Peay's coach was really nice, too. Yeah. He's cool. I like that.
You like Austin Peay? Yeah.
We were just talking about Austin Peay's head coach. He's really cool, too. He's kind of got that Pete Carroll vibe to him, you know.
Does he really?
Yeah, he kind of had a good rapport with him, too, didn't he? So
yeah. Well, what if you take off next year? I mean, so come August, Jacoby. I mean, yeah. Well, you know,
you talking about height?
You got to keep me, huh?
When you said take off, you mean in his? When you say take off, you mean in his
junior year?
His growth, or
no? I mean, like if you just totally ball out, even more. And the big colleges call. Just whoever, huh?
Yeah. I think it's coming this year. It's coming this year.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They're already kind of doing that a little bit.
Yeah. Even though they can't say anything to you, you can kind of tell the ones that are interested.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
You know, we'll just wait and see, and those are the rules, and we'll just wait this year. I think it's football that they only had a few seniors on the team last year, and like 3, I think. His wide receivers were freshmen, and you know he was only a sophomore last year. The team was really young, but they were tough. And I think this year they're gonna kick the door in. So watch out for the Kenwood Knights.
Kenwood Knights. You know, I'm on 5 days a week now, Tony. I've made a big, commitment to this program. Anytime during the season, just send me messages. Yeah, you guys come off with a big upset. You want to come on during the season after a game. If you ball out on Friday night, hit me up on a Tuesday. We'll come on. We'll talk about it, man. You know what?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's
I'll be in touch.
Yeah. Yeah. That is awesome, man. And I'm excited for you guys. So Tony, how you doing, man? What are you working at nowadays?
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Tony?
I do home health, physical therapy still. And,
okay.
I'm in and out of patients' houses all day.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I do home health physical therapy.
Nice.
And
nice.
I'm in and out of patients' homes all day long. So, I do that all day. Still the same job I had before. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Same here, bro.
Go ahead.
Same here. Yeah.
I tell you.
Woo. Man, hey,
I went through cool over there where you are
today. I'm still doing med
can you hear me?
work. Yeah, I can hear you.
Good.
I can hear you, man. But guys, hey, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you might be. Are you lagging? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're lagging a little bit.
Okay.
I can hear you pretty good now, though.
Can you? Okay. Maybe I just needed to stand up or something. I don't know. But yeah, I was just going on about the heat, how hot it was today.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I went through about 2 liters of water myself. How about you?
About the same.
Same. I hear you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, well,
you gotta have that water, man.
Woo! I got it right here. Hey, I got the deer part. Well, guys, I appreciate you coming on. I'll tag you with it. Just a little bit of a lag here at the end, but you should be able to hear it, most of it.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Appreciate it, guys.
And it's a dead period.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And this would be a good time to talk. But like I said, anytime you want to come on during the season, just keep me posted, man. We'll talk about it.
I can hear you just fine.
Oh, you can? Okay.
We can hear you.
Okay. Pickles says, on my list, he says, good luck, guys.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Appreciate it. All right, everybody. I will go ahead and post that. Yeah. So Jacoby and Tony there, really good. Jacoby, like I said, 6'5", 205. Just now coming into his junior season, going to be one of the better quarterbacks in the country. If you ask me, I mean, that is a prototypical NFL quarterback size. Now, being 205, he probably need to put on NFL-wise about 20 pounds. But, hey, this guy, Tony's been telling me about his son for years, even before 2019. Now, he's 15 now, since he was 8-9 years old, running up and down the field. So, going to be real excited about that. Out of Clarksville, Tennessee. Really smart guy, good guy. Had some lag problems tonight, but we'll get that squared away, bring those two guys back on the program. If you guys like the show, share the show. Again, that's a big part of this program. Getting off the ground is you contributing by sharing the program to other social media. I'm on Twitter at rbutler723. Of course, hashtag SportsScope. If you see it, retweet it. If you see it on Facebook, make sure and share it on your page. For Spotify, if you want to share that. Spotify, Apple Podcast, it's all over the podcast. Anywhere you get your podcasts as well. Yeah, his son's, he's really a lot different now in 2 years. Having 6'5", he actually kind of favors Pat Mahomes a little bit. He's bigger than Mahomes, Pickles. He's taller than Mahomes right now. So I'm curious of what may happen with him if he stays at quarterback, or he moves another position, or he goes to the and just stays with the NBA or plays small forward in the basketball arena there. So going to be really fun. Cannot wait to bring those two guys back on the program. Again, tomorrow, Jeffrey Deskovic will be back on the show. He will be back on the show. We'll be going over these NBA stories. Now, listen, there's a chance Damian Lillard could get moved tomorrow. Something could be made in principle. I'm not sure if that will it may not go into effect officially until Friday. Now, Friday, I want to say, is going to be the 30th, right, Pickles? So Friday, today's Tuesday. Yeah, Friday will be the 30th. You'll have legal tampering in the NBA. A lot of big movement. Remember, Dylan Brooks is still out there. Guys like Kyle Kuzma still out there. Lillard, I expect to be moved. He's supposed to, this past over today, met up with ownership and management. Nothing has came about that, but he said in the past, meaning in the past couple months, he does not want to rebuild. They drafted Scoot Henderson with the number 3 pick overall. So we have to monitor that situation. I still think Miami is a real player for him. Contrary of what Pat Riley may say, Miami, Milwaukee, the Nets, those 3 teams, maybe there's a wild card in there involved. So that's a story I'm monitoring, and maybe I'll talk about it with Jeffrey tomorrow. Either way, I will be getting on that. Pickle says Jimmy Johnson, in-laws were murdered in Oklahoma. That's the NASCAR driver there. Pickles, I read a little something on that. He's not going to race this weekend. That's a crazy story there in the wild world of sports. a lot of wild, crazy stories today. And, thoughts and prayers with the Ryan Mallett family, folks. If you go out in the ocean, please stay close to the shoreline and wear a life jacket. Don't try to be tough guy. I've tried that before and almost drowned myself. And not to get too much on that soapbox here. It was a murder suicide. Yeah, that's what I read too. That's Pickles is talking about the Jimmy Johnson tragedy there with the in-laws there. So anyways, folks, I'll be back here tomorrow, same time, same place here on Sports Scope.